mean, do not embarrass me, nigga. Damn.
Trying to have some fun tonight?
Hell yeah, I'm trying to have some fun. You damn sure ain't trying to give up no more.
Nigga, you ain't give me no ass.
My nigga.
You give me some ass?
Fuck. What you drinking on?
Red wine.
Red wine? Then let me get 2 red wines for me and my partner.
Partner, huh?
Yeah, that's my partner back there. So you get into that kind of thing?
Depends on what you're trying to get into.
Well, shit, I'm trying to get inside of you.
Just like that, huh? Just like that. Check, please.
Episode 1, BluVonte, the final chapters, now streaming exclusively on Here TV.
What's up, family? This is Kenan with Black Gay Table Talk, bringing you an exciting episode with Knott today. Corey's an actor, a writer, CEO, and executive producer with HD Productions Network. Corey, how are you?
I'm well. How are you? Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks for joining. I wanted to say, we got KeyVonte!
Baby, keep on saying, go on, baby.
No. So, of course, we will get into BluVonte, but I wanted to tap into you for a moment and kind of pull the curtain back and see who you are and try to get more of you for our audience. Cool?
Sure.
All
Okay,
right.
well, I'm Corey Knott, born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee. Went to college in Memphis, University of Memphis, where I studied theater and communications. That's how I came into HD Productions Network. All my life, I kind of knew that I wanted to be in Hollywood. I wanted to do something with acting, directing, writing, you name it. I wanted to do it all. And so I just kind of like for years, I always did drama club, theater, anything dealing with uh, just the arts. I always wanted to do it. Then I was already a dancer, so that just made it even more impactful because if you can act and you can dance, then you can get booked and things of that nature. So it was just always like, well, when I grew up, I want to be an actor. Then you were here always going to, well, you need to pick a real job. You need to pick a real job. And I still get those little side eyes now. And then when I land like uh, a gig or land a booking role or land a show on a network, they're like, well, how did you do that? I was like, well, for years I kept saying this is what I was doing. And I guess y'all kept saying find a real job. And I found one. And I guess it wasn't real
Boom.
enough for you. So those are the things that I still deal with, even growing up black. You hear those things. So it's those things I'm trying to tune out. But like still, while I stay in the work, I moved here to Atlanta in 2016 to grow my network. I had started in Memphis when I was in Memphis right before I left. My flagship, which was called Real Eyes, Real Eyes, Real Eyes, which just celebrated its 10-year anniversary on the 15th of April, which makes HD Productions Network now 10 years old. Thank you. So I'm still learning as each year I still grow and grow. And then I looked around and I was like, wow, it's 10 years. And I was just like, well, where do the years go? And I've just been stuck in the work and I love the work. I love everything that I do. I love everything about storytelling of people who look like me, come from backgrounds like me, people who want to have a voice but don't have the voice to speak out or, just they can follow certain narratives or like if they didn't have anyone growing up. Like I had like no gay parents growing up or just things of the nature, but I would dance. I Jay said it with Memphis Elite, and that was my family, and they were older than me, so they basically kind of kept me, at arm's reach. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. And then everybody wanted to be Memphis Elite, so you couldn't really be out there being wild. So you had to keep, like a low profile and do things the right way, and it kind of kept me on the straight and narrow. And so even to this day, the things that I learned while on the squad, just like surprise, element of surprise, just just discretion, not telling everyone because you want to stick up to the prize and you don't want to tell nobody. Your good girlfriends be on opposite teams, but then you get in there and y'all all got on the same outfit because you talk too
Right.
much. So it's just like. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all
Yes.
goes hand in hand with the industry for me. And so like even doing I be giggling because I'm like, we could tell y'all that stuff. Y'all don't even know it. And I know the episode is good, but like when people
Yes.
feel like they try to cup us out, we're like, oh little do you know. You know what I'm saying? Because we practice discretion and just I've done it for so long, you know how to turn the
You know how to.
room
Yeah.
And so for me, I think it's beyond a hobby. It is my career. I love teaching people who are eager to learn that didn't have the funds or the ability to go to college and learn the things that I did. But I just like to show people this is how it can be done. And it doesn't take thousands and thousands and millions of dollars to do it. It's for you to get your start. It's all about
Mhm.
your vision and just executing your plan.
Got it. I love that. Actually, speaking of helping people, I recently had another interview with Don J or Don in Florida.
Hmm.
I heard that you helped him with basically his vision of Afro Pride and Pride
Oh,
Chillin'.
okay.
You helped him with bringing his vision to life, basically. And he said you gave him some really good feedback, and it was critical feedback, but it was feedback that he needed to
Oh,
grow, and that you helped him. And he also said that he was grateful. And hi.
oh, tell Donald I said hey. Yeah, he caught me in I met him, I think I want to say it was during the pandemic era where I
Hmm.
had just like crossed over and I was like, like I was getting bookings, and then I was like, well, you shouldn't do it this way. Maybe you should do it this way. And this
Yes.
is really, but maybe next time I'll do it this time, but that's not really what I do. I don't, I really, so just things like that. Like, as you're going to learn every time you do something, you're going to learn. Not saying it was a mistake, but you're going to grow from every event, every project, whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to learn and you're going to master it. And then you're going to grow, and then you're gonna do it again, and you're gonna master and grow from that. So it's just all about. And I didn't even think, even when I said it, I didn't think nothing about it, and I didn't even know he even remembered that. I just thought about it when you said it. I was like, oh wow, I did. So wow,
Yes,
yeah.
you left that impact, and he lit up. He lit up, and I let out that I was having an interview with you, and
Mhm.
he kind of lit up like, oh wow, like he taught me this, he did that. So I was like, that's really cool. That was an authentic example of reaching back and teaching and helping, because ultimately, although our journeys may be a tad different,
Hmm.
we're all in it together.
Connected,
So
yeah.
yeah, I thought that was cool. Um, HD Productions
Hmm.
Network. How did you really position yourself for the change of getting the bookings?
Of course, I was J setting for years, and then something really crucial happened at the end of 2013 where the former captain came back and took over the squad, and it kind of crushed. It didn't kind of crush me. It crushed me because that was my life. Like I've always wanted to be on the team, let alone that I know that I would get the position. But um, needless to say, they just wanted it back. There was nothing that I could have really done. What I was trying to do, because dance and J setting was evolving, I didn't want to just be known as the feminine J setters. But then we're up here masculine, but then we're in Memphis doing hip hop choreography. So I was just trying to elevate it, because the thing is, when we come down to these different prides, everybody looks the same, dressing the same. People had started picking up on our style. So like when that happened,
Mhm.
I just try to change it. And just even with HD, I've always tried to be the evolution of the face of change. Like when it comes to LGBT, Black LGBT, even though we're all the same, why are we different from the rest? What separates us from the rest? And so that's kind of what I wanted to take in the new eye that I had. So when that happened, that crushed me, and I ended up going back home to Nashville for a year and a half, just because
Mhm.
I just wanted to kind of get away from it. And that was the kick in the ass that I kind of needed, because basically when it boiled down, I wanted something that was mine, that could no one take from me, that I could instill with change, from growth, from myself, from scratch, that no one else owned. And with
Yeah.
that came HD Productions Network. And I graduated with a BFA in theater communications, and I'm not using it. I'm working in a collections agency, and I had all this
Mm.
talent. So what I ended up doing was, I was in a relationship, and I had was a DO godchild, and
Ooh.
it just broke my heart. And I wrote about it,
Aw.
and it was called Realize, Realize, Realize. Yes, it's a
Right.
tongue twister. And so it premiered April 15th of 2014 on my YouTube channel, and I didn't know. We just didn't know. Like, I had never picked up a camera before. Like, I had training in theater performance and community, like just the theater of it all, but not the the makings of it because it cost so much. So I was just picking up cameras and learning stuff and Googling. I was like, you know what, I can rock with it for so long, but for me to take serious, like get taken serious, it took a few years. When I finally put the camera down in 2018, I was like, someone else will come. That's not my expertise. I know how to show run. I know I can direct. I can write. I can act, and I can lead a cast. And I know that I can put together a storytell. So I know that I'm not, when it comes to behind the camera, and I am not technical. That's not my lane. I don't pretend to be. I did enough to get us by for the first 3 or 4 years and got us where we are now. But baby, I bring
All
in
of
the
that.
technical people now. And so that's just kind of how HD Productions Network got its start, was from just wanting something that was mine that no one can take, and something that I could nurture, that I knew that I went to school for, and not someone else's baby that they've nurtured it this long and they can come in. And dance wasn't, it's a hobby, but it's not my passion, if that makes sense. I know how to do
Yeah.
it, and Jay said well, but I breathe, sleep, eat shit, directing, writing, show running, anything dealing with television, film, anything dealing with it, that's my area. So that's just kind of how HD Productions Network got its start. I wrote Realize, and it was really, really good. And then it was so popular, like even back then in like 2014, we were getting like maybe 50 and 60,000 views, and that was unheard of. And I'm like,
Right.
wow, these are a lot of people. And so like people were really following, and Facebook was very vital to the sharing process, and YouTube was like, so a lot of people just kind of like grew with the, and fan base just grew, and then Living for the Weekend, which BluVonte came from,
Yeah.
it was a spinoff, was born second after Realize. It was born in 2015, so it's coming up on 10 years as well next year. And so what ended up happening with that was, after the success of Realize, I was like, I want more. I want to do another one. I want to, what I didn't do
Yeah.
with Realize, I want to do with Living for the Weekend. I want to create an ensemble of friends, sort of like living single and blah 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 blah, but with five black gay friends, and just kind of like went from there. And so I remember like started following Yvette Lee Bowser here, like maybe the past 3 years, and kind of like told her like how I got my start, and she started following me. So like she's really, really cool, and just a very good person to like um just look up to, because she created something that was so impactful in the 90s. And it was before its time, and I looked at that. I was a very big 90s, I'm an 80s baby, but 90s music, 90s television, oh my god, back when they had
Yes.
the opening sequences, like the real intros, and just everything about the 90s, the soundtracks, movie soundtracks. I want to go back to those times because I don't see those things anymore. And so that's kind of what I want to bring back, to make people want to see a motion picture or a series. Oh, the sounds from the BluVonte, the series. So like I'm very big on
Yes.
musicality. I want to, they just kind of like ushered that out, and that was a really big thing. Music is also a part that will make or break your project as well. So like
This is true.
making sure that people connect that to like their SoundCloud, or not SoundCloud, but the Apple Music or whatever their music is on, like really about putting us on. So even in this season with BluVonte, like when the music comes on, I drop there like the music overlays. Like it's very interactive this season. Like it almost like it acts as if like if you're on the computer and you're on your Apple icon pops up and says Aaliyah, more than a woman, and then it fades out. So stuff like that that just kind of puts
Yeah.
more black artists on top of the show. Like it's just all about coming together. Like BluVonte's on a white network, so they're not giving me no money like that. So like it's very depressing, and I have broke days, broke months. But I like when I don't have broke days and broke months, I put it all and pour it all into the project, and that's what I've done. So like now I'm just tired and just kind of like weeping from that, and trying to hope that I can make it back from the back end. But the thing is, it's not on my network; it's on their network, and they don't give me a back end.
Can we have some more of that conversation?
We
So,
can.
so it's and do we want to mention the name of the network? Well,
No,
yeah. I mean, no.
I won't say the name of the network, but the network that BluVonte is on. Yeah, the reason why I'm having a final season is just because a lot of work goes into it, a lot of creativity. Like I literally have to think of all the stories, multiple stories for a cast of 16 people,
Right.
then move it smoothly through at 6 episodes, uh, finish writing it, getting it out, show running it, casting it, directing it, not only once it's done, I edited the whole project. I do all my editing
You do
because
the
I
editing?
do the editing. I don't have no one has my eye or knows how to edit, and I feel like I'm one of those master editors. And so there, I have a junior editor that will put together the storyboard. But when
Uh-huh.
she puts together the storyboard, I come through chop, 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 like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, take this out, fade this in, wrote this, bring this in this way, pan this in, pan this out this way, pull that out, drone this in, hit. It just like makes sense to me. So like when I be seeing it, I'm like, then I go right there. So and that's the reason why I want to train. Like I want to have like a showrunners program where I train people how to have the eye, do those things that I learned in school where people weren't privileged to go to school and do those things. I want to like be that person, but it's gonna take a money investors, a bigger team for me to be able to touch all the people that I
Mm.
know there are so many creators out there that just afraid of saying something. I can't get to them because I'm always involved in the work, like the work,
Mhm.
the work, the work, and because I am the editor as well, and then on top of the showrunning, then most of the time I'm leading a cast. It's very overwhelming, and so when I finally do
Mhm.
catch up on sleep, it's time for another project. But right now, I don't have anything lined up. I'm just kind of like overexerting myself, and I'm just wanting to rest
Mm.
because it's not enough money, especially as creative and as long as I've been doing it, I'm not seeing the money that my white counterparts see.
Got it. So how does that change?
It changed drastically because instead of seeing what I've done now is I've gotten my own app on Roku, and
Yes, you do.
so um, stay with him, bless you. And so and so I've noticed that like we're on the Roku, Apple, Fire Stick, you name it, and I'm paying out of pocket now for that. But however, if BluVonte did so well in 2022 that we were right back filming a second installment in 2023, which was the next chapters, and
Mhm.
now we were back right back in filming the final chapters, which we filmed all fall, winter, and spring, and now it's about to come out Friday. What did y'all make? What did y'all make off of BluVonte?
Huh.
Because I don't get no back end, and I get trinkets compared to what I know some of these people get, and I still bring you a blockbuster, which is I'm pretty sure is one of their top three. I'm probably sure all of my stuff is in the top three, and
Right.
and it gives you $1 million budget with a little bitty ass budget that was received for it. And so for me, I'm tired of using my resources. I'm tired of sticking out my neck, making myself feel like I'm being slaved and pimped out. So I decided to do a final season and just it is what it is. And if it's that good that I can get three installments in less than 3 years, then that means they're making really good money off BluVonte. And because I own the characters from Living for the Weekend in BluVonte, let me just keep it on my network. Let me just do everything like I've been doing for years. I've got the app now. I know how to subscribe
Yeah.
and get subscribers to come over. I know how to market. My YouTube is almost at 100K. I know what I'm doing. Y'all needed me. So the thing is, when you like not say it like that, but I know my worth now, and I'm tired of people devaluing me, feeling like I don't deserve what I really deserve. And I'm giving you all of my nuggets. I'm giving you all of my resources, including Jussie Smollett, other people. You know, like I'm just gonna throw names out here, people who came on to help on Move On to the next chapter, and they turned around and smacked me in the face,
Mhm.
and just different things I won't get into, just because I can't legally, but
I understand.
just didn't want certain people attached to the project like that. So they brought their star power and brought eyes, which brought subscribers, but I won't say anything else that would, put me in jeopardy. However, I've just decided to, how do I say it, continue the journey without uh, any networks or any distributors and just do it myself for right now
Understood.
until I can find a big, like a network that
That
the
suits
that suits me, the true traditional budgets of 250 and 300K, where I don't have to think about what am I going like how am I going to survive for 7 8 months while I'm creating the world?
you.
No one
Mhm.
thinks about that. You know what I'm saying? No one thinks about like sitting at the computer and from one scene to the next, and then you're thinking about not only one scene, you're thinking about 30-minute episodes and six of them, and then you think
Hmm.
about all these characters how they got to move simultaneously, and
Hmm.
you want to pay me for the full project what a writer makes in one episode. That's not going to work for me.
Wow. So let me ask you this, Corey. For someone else that might be going into an agreement with a network,
Hmm.
what would you have to say to them to avoid being in this situation?
Lawyer up, and then read through your contract, make your demands on the front end, even if they may turn around and say no, we're going to decline. I
Hmm.
wish I would have declined a lot of things, just because if it's your baby and you created it, no one can tell you no one can tell you how to do you. You know what I'm saying? And so what for anyone going into negotiations or any type of deals, I would just say always lawyer up, read over everything, read the fine print, and then bring in your questions. Never take the first deal. Never sell. Like, let's just say, I'm not saying they wanted it, but let's just say they wanted living for the weekend. And I said, oh no, because the Wayans taught me never to sell. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I watched TV, I watched how vital and living color was. And then the moment they sold it, just like Scary Movie, the moment you sell it to the others, it diminishes, the value diminishes. You know what I'm saying? Like they give budget, but then now it's whitewashed, but
Hmm.
now Showtime wants it. And so what happens then? Because you could easily say, "Oh, we're going to Showtime. Who's going to write it?" I would have to write it, but the thing is, it's y'all's at this point. So
True.
that's why I created BluVonte. I still own the characters because they're characters of Living for the Weekend. They just own the licensing rights. So that's how I was going to stay safe. Like I can still, you can give me the budget, I can shoot it, I can get it shot, and still use my likeness because let's just when it boils down to it, BluVonte's likeness is because of me, and you guys know, like the star power. And just to be honest, the views and the viewership, that's what sold you guys to hit me up in the first place. But
Mhm.
when a black gay male who is powerful, who is notable, starts wiping back. No, I'm not doing that. No, we're not doing that. That don't make sense and things of that nature. Then it's he's getting too, yeah. And y'all like and this show did really really powerful because we're back here at the drawing board again for a second and now a third, and there's a fourth one written. But I'm unless you give it maybe unless you break in the bank, no, because you should have broke the bank on the first one, and you should have really broke the bank on the second one. I brought Jesse on, and the third one is really good because we used the production camera, so I gave it value, and here I am now, broke and disgusted because I put more money into it than was given to me, just because my name is still on it,
Right.
and I just
You have
needed
to show up.
it gotta show up, and it's still mine at the end of the day. And they're not gonna say, "Oh, it's such and such television. Oh, blue. They did BluVonte." They're gonna say Corey Knott's BluVonte on such and such network. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So like at the end of the day, y'all can give the money out, but like that money goes to so much, and I give so many people opportunities, and people don't know like just some nights you'd be like, what am I gonna do? Like, got the car note due, still got personal due, but I'm still taking care of business, and I'm only getting paid a certain quotient compared to what I need to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
Right.
very, very hard sometimes. And I would just tell people who want this, you're gonna have to be prepared for the highs and the lows, and just contracts as well. Like you have to really watch what you do because you can set yourself up for a bad deal, and you'll be stuck in it because once you sign the contract, you're obligated contractually, and there's nothing that you can do about it. So I would just always to people coming up. Read, lawyer up, get a
Hmm.
consultation, like just consult with another person, read again, ask your questions, never sign the first or second deal. Never,
Hmm.
never.
Got it. Interesting. So, shifting a bit, and I know that you can do pretty much all of it, right? But
Mm-hmm.
do you prefer to be in front of the camera or behind the camera?
It just depends. Like behind the camera, I'm able to. give it more depth. But then if I have to be in front of the camera 9 to 10 times, I've got to direct it and show run it, and so it doesn't give me the depth that I would like to have unless I had a designated director like we had for the next chapter when Justin came on board. I was able
Mm-hmm.
to fully be, you know what I'm saying? Like he was
Mm-hmm.
cut that in half. It's too caricature, take this out, make it more human. Do but like, and I learned from that. So I was like, so in the final chapter, I was like, cut that in half. You sound like you read the script. It sound fake. Hell no. Take it again. It was like I was because I just took it all in, and you know, like when you're in
Yes.
the work, you have to take all of the stuff that you learned in. So I learned so much from him that season. And we did like BluVonte, the next chapter, and Living for the Weekend season 7, which is currently rolling out now. And BluVonte comes in Friday, and so like Living for the Weekend's about to go on mid-season finale, while BluVonte rolls out, and then it'll come back on it during Pride Month to finish
Mhm.
out. But it's a
Yeah.
lot going on, and so I just kind of like knowing my worth and just you know this is the moment where everything shifts. I kind of like did everything independent and did everything on my own and kind of skated through and faked it till I made it. Now that I've made it and like I got my stuff on different networks, but that ain't it ain't doing like how I need it to do. So like let me just pour into myself. Let me invest in myself. Got my own app.
Mm.
Let me get my own damn subscribers. Let me get more shows, cooking shows, dance shows, fitness shows, you name it, baby. I'm finna run it amok and just
Mhm.
put them out there, real boutique seasons. You ain't got to get no 10, 20 episodes. That you know, like Netflix down to 10 now, eight, sometimes 8 episodes. So boutique it,
True.
see if it's worth picking up again, worth investing the money. If it is based off the views and the clicks, Roku's gonna tell me because it's like an analytics system. So like it's just like even when I was in accounting and collections, that mindset. That's how I know how to what shows work, what shows would get greenlit based off of the views, the retention rate of people watching the shows, the watch time, you know, how many people watched it per day, how many people watched it over the month. And then you just look at
Yeah.
those things and then you say, oh, okay, oh, they got 1 million views and they watched it 1 million views in 1 week, blah, 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 blah. Oh, most definitely a second season or 10 episodes because that's going to make me more money. So you kind of just have to be a numbers person and then being creative. It makes me,
Yes.
real dangerous to be honest. But like I just know how to make if I need $10,000, I know how to make it in a month. And it's just gotta be, you know, but you need people who are like minded, who understand the vision, and people get over here and wanna fuck or wanna get over here and wanna fuck on cast members and stuff.
Interesting. So, so what is that like? Like you said, well, people ultimately people not taking it serious, right?
Hmm.
How how do you handle those situations? I mean, obviously, I'm
Discernment
sure.
really here recently like I baby I've been in the game too long now, so when people start saying what show is such and such or well such and such, and I just know based off of questions or just you know just sometimes you gotta just observe and listen, so then they'll tell them themselves, oh I can't wait, oh I want to have a kiss and rope, clocked it. No, because who said you're gonna be like you want to be active? Well, who's talking about kissing? You know, so you
Right.
just have to be. You have to just listen when people like, oh, okay, I want to come to the screening, and then you don't want to come to screenings, but then you want to you come to the screening, and you see somebody you crushing on. Oh, next time invite me. Not a screening. You want to come to a kickback, but then don't come to screenings.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? Like, want to come to like a little kickback, a little weed, something, and then when it's time to go to the red carpets, you know what I'm saying? You ain't nowhere to be found. But then all of a sudden, you see me post the final results of the final season. Oh, that look good. He's with us in the scene with such and such. Ooh, put me on. Would you hit up Sean Rogers and say put me on? Would you hit up Oprah Winfrey and say put me on your show? But then treat me as such. I may not be them, but bitch, in this industry, in this right here, right now, where I'm at, that's how you should be treating me. And so when you come to me like that, I don't pay you no mind.
That part. All right. That I mean, because you want to bring a quality product and you want to
Mhm.
work with quality people, you want to
Yes.
give that's time. Time is money. And ultimately, if you're here to play, baby, when look.
I'm 38, baby. I'm not here to play. I got a late start. I got to play catch up.
What's your sign?
Capricorn.
Capricorn. Got it.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. So thinking about um thinking about shots that you filmed,
Hmm.
what was the hardest shot that you had to film, whether it be emotionally or just from technical shit happening? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the most difficult scene that you had to film? And I want to know both on camera and behind the camera.
I want to say the hardest for me was last season, this filming the next chapter, which was directed under Justy, just because I've always been in stuff where I was the director. So just to give that over, and then he'll be like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "Oh, you're the director. Don't come to me. Like, I trust you wholeheartedly." And he still would, but like for me, the hardest thing was to just give someone full consent, full whatever. So I
Yeah.
pulled back the whole time, but it was beautiful because he brought industry, he brought he
Okay.
brought Fox, he brought ABC, he brought all the things that he's done before. He brought Hollywood to my set, and so
Mm.
it was rough because people were still who didn't take it serious were still trying to do certain things, and he was catching it, and it kind of was embarrassing, secondhand embarrassment, because like why would you do that? And then like we may be independent but act like you got some decorum. So like I still hadn't weeded the right people out, so the wrong people were still here while he was there, and it was embarrassing. So for me that was the hardest thing, not having cleaned up my immediate um production circle before he got here, before he saw the things that he saw. But what he did while he was here was so impactful that it wasn't hard. It was just hard to know that he was seeing certain things that I didn't want him to see because I hadn't done my full cleanup yet. But like getting into
Mm.
full character and him saying it's not enough, or him saying pull back or give more, and then me still not find it. But he was like, it's there, but it's not there. And so for me to search for it, me the whole time thinking, I got it. No, you don't got it. Now you got it. And so like for me, that was hard because he was saying like, what you mean? This is magic. What you mean? Like, that's how I move. This is BluVonte. What you mean? God, this is how I've been doing this character for 8 years. You can't say. But at the end of the day, you got to look at it as if a Hollywood writer or a scribe or someone in the union was watching it, these are the things that they would do, or say, been
Yeah.
invited back to the Emmys, ABM, just all these different things where people look for. It was needed. So that was very hard for me to sit back there, take the lesson, but not feel beat up by the constructive criticism that was only going to empower and make the show and the season a much better show. So I'm glad I did that, but it was hard. But now in the final season, I was able to apply all those things that I learned, and I
Yeah.
feel like the final season is just chef's kiss. Like it's the best thing that I've ever done. So like I can't wait for everyone to see it. But like that's just for me. That was the hardest.
Yeah.
That was the hardest.
Got it. So what's the hardest scene that you've had to film, I guess, emotionally? Like, I know a lot of times we have to channel certain things
Hmm.
sometimes when you're acting. Like, have you had one of those difficult scenes where it was just a lot, like, you know?
Yes, two scenes. So the death of Blue, uh, uh, the death of Blue is the first one. We shot that one in Los Angeles. It was in Burbank though. And it was shot at, I want to say we got there like 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. It was like a late night, early morning shoot. And so Blue, I didn't know this, but he had took an edible, so he was really out cold, like out sleep, couldn't get like, and all he had to do was just be there. So he wasn't blinking or anything. So for me, it was just like I was in there by myself, and I'm talking about bawling. I had to pull on, like I had to, the love of my life had died,
Mhm.
and it was like walking into it was in the morgue set. It was seeing him there. I had like a out of body experience, but what I remember doing was went through this horrible breakup, and we didn't talk for like maybe we just started back talking at the end of 2022 when we were filming after we had filmed the scene I'm talking about,
Mhm.
and I just basically grieved in my head. He was still, of course, and so I just finally, it was like a cleanse. Like even when I shot the scene, I was crying, I was snotting, I was doing all of the things, but I was finally getting out the last of the emotions of the person who hurt me the most and who I loved the most. I killed him in
Mhm.
my head, and that's where that the emotion came from. So all the emotions that I was giving, and just people was like, "Oh my God, I was so tore up," and those were raw emotions that I was able to drum up just because I never quite healed from it, and I had been going to therapy at the time. So my therapist was like, "Make sure you write a love letter to, not a love letter, but write an apology letter to yourself." And so in doing that, I kind of like wrote in like, you said we were gonna be together for like all those lines that I was saying. Those were things that I had felt. So like just throwing those out there and emoting those. Oh, it was like a real
Mm.
wash. And so those are hard to do because then you get stuck in it. And so I think I was crying for like maybe, I know the second chapter was really hard, but like I was crying for like maybe 2 weeks after like my tear
Mhm.
ducts was it just wouldn't stop because once I started going up, like I'm sorry, I don't know, it's just gonna stop. But it works in my favor.
It
Just
did.
pulling reality into your work.
Aw, I love that. I love that. And you do have that authentic, that pure talent too. So I love that.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
okay, so damn, you gave me that too. You better go ahead. Look, do you?
But I do this, man. I'm gonna
Damn
cover you
it.
now. I'm gonna get you some coverage. You said 90 minutes. I said, no, we're gonna make this in half, baby. I got you covered.
Oh gosh. Okay. You have the app available now. You have
Yes, it's the Roku app is available with the Roku device, or I think you can go to the website and download Roku onto your mobile
T-
device, your
uh-huh.
TV. If you got a Roku TV, you can pull it up. And we'll go to Here TV, or you can just type in um, HD Productions Network, but it's an app inside the Roku store.
Got it. Got it.
Thanks. BluVonte premieres Friday, May 3rd. Returns on Here TV. I'm also in a movie coming out called The Lost Holiday, which was directed by Jesse Smollett and stars him and Vivica. I had a cameo in it, and we shot it